Hey guys, welcome back. It's Neon. We're going to talk about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Now, we have talked about this before, a little bit anyway, on the live stream. The fact that Johnny Depp is suing former wife Amber Heard for $50 million. $50 million for damage to his career because he claims the Me Too accusations against him were completely untrue, that they were fabricated. This is a really interesting situation to watch. So first, we're going to talk about a little bit of the history here. Now, Johnny Depp got caught up in the Me Too movement. I think it was last year or the year before when Amber Heard, his ex-wife, who stars in Aquaman, she starred in Aquaman, among other things. She claimed that Johnny Depp was physically assaulting her, and that, she'd been beaten, she'd been battered, she'd been bruised. And about the same time, Johnny Depp had some damage done to his hand. For people who watch the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, who watch the news related to the Pirates of the Caribbean, you might remember that Jack Sparrow had like a cast on his finger that was supposedly damage done to Johnny Depp's hand during a domestic dispute. The way the media spun it back then, back in 2016, was that, according to Entertainment Tonight, Depp reportedly injured his right hand while punching a wall during an argument the couple had in Australia in March of 2015. So the media reported that Johnny Depp was physically abusive, that he punched a wall next to Amber Heard, and that he damaged his finger that way. Now, I want to show you something that Geeky actually sent to me from Twitter, and I do want to warn you, it's pretty graphic. I'm actually going to show you the damage done to Johnny Depp's hand, and then what Johnny Depp alleges actually happened to him. So just warning, this is pretty graphic. Okay, so this is what Amber Heard did to Johnny Depp, according to Cinema Patty. She's the monster who abused her husband and her previous partner, who was arrested for domestic violence. She confessed under oath to a series of violent attacks on Johnny Depp. Stop defending and glorifying this female abuser. I'm going to show you, this is really disgusting, people. This is not what happens to your finger when you punch a wall. This is what happened to, oh my God, Johnny Depp's finger. It was basically severed at the fingertip. It's freaking disgusting. And now the story that Johnny Depp is claiming that it was because Amber Heard threw a glass bottle at him, that she actually is the abuser. She threw a glass bottle which shattered, and the part of the glass severed his fingertip. And this actually goes along with the injuries. If you've seen the injuries to his hand when he was filming Pirates 5, he had a cast on that hand, and they actually drew a little fingernail on it. And I don't know if they CG'd it out in the final film or what, but filming was actually halted for several months, which was pretty unusual for somebody who just punched a wall, maybe bruised their knuckles. Really, really disgusting. So this is allegedly what happened. One particularly gruesome episode that occurred only 1 month into their marriage. Ms. Heard shattered the bones in the tip of Mr. Depp's right middle finger, almost completely cutting it off. Heard threw a glass vodka bottle at Mr. Depp, one of many projectiles that she launched at him in this and other instances. The bottle shattered as it came into contact with Mr. Depp's hand, and the broken glass and impact severed and shattered Mr. Depp's finger. Yeah, I don't think this is a makeup job. I think this actually happened. You do not get that from punching a wall, and it sounds to me like either someone was lying about it or Johnny Depp lied about it to protect his wife at the time. But, he has been insisting the whole time that he was falsely accused, right? So Johnny Depp, throughout this whole ordeal, has insisted that he was falsely accused by Amber Heard. There was a push to get Johnny Depp removed from the Harry Potter series. He plays Grindelwald in the prequels, and a lot of people wanted him removed. They kept him in the movies, but there was a huge backlash against Johnny Depp's career. So not only is he taking on far fewer roles these days because of the stigma of being a womanizer, right? But they're even looking at rebooting Pirates of the Caribbean with a different lead, with a female lead. And let's just hope it's not Amber Heard, because, you know, we've seen her with fake red hair, and Geeky says, you know, we can't put another woman in there with fake red hair. But there is talk that they are going to reboot Pirates of the Caribbean, probably to get rid of Johnny Depp, right? Because he's become toxic now because he's been accused. Whether or not he's actually done it, it doesn't matter. Once you're accused in Hollywood, you are guilty. So fast forward to, I guess, earlier this month, and Johnny Depp has filed a $50 million defamation suit against Amber Heard. Now, this is actually coming from his attorney. Johnny Depp's attorney sums up everything by saying, Ms. Heard also knew that her elaborate hoax worked. As a result of her false allegations against Mr. Depp, Ms. Heard became a darling of the Me Too movement, was the first actress named a human rights champion of the United Nations Human Rights Office, was appointed ambassador on women's rights at the American Civil Liberties Union, and was hired by L'Oreal Paris as its global spokesperson. Johnny Depp is seeking $50 million in damages, which for a star of Johnny Depp's caliber, $50 million is actually low. That's probably less than he gets for one movie. His career has been irreparably damaged by this, and if it does, go to trial and comes out that she's actually the abuser, what is this going to do for the Me Too movement? What is this going to do? Is it going to flip things, on their ear? Because as we're being told right now, it's like if a woman says she's been abused, you are supposed to believe her without hesitation. You're supposed to immediately throw the offending male under the wheels of the bus. You're supposed to, we see with the Kick Vic situation, there were allegations about misconduct on Vic's part, but there really wasn't anything to substantiate these allegations, and now his career is effectively destroyed. We saw something similar happen with John Lasseter. There really was no smoking gun as to what he did wrong, other than he was making people uncomfortable. He was terminated by Disney, but he was sort of phased out. He wasn't actually thrown out on his ear, because again, there wasn't anything really substantial, other than a bunch of people didn't like to be around him because they thought he was too touchy-feely. And now he's over at Skydance, and we've already got actors quitting Skydance over him taking a position over there. Because again, even if you are innocent, okay, even if you're proven innocent, and people do investigations and all stuff, and they find that you're innocent, you're always guilty. You're always guilty. Your career is destroyed. Now, Johnny Depp's career, I don't think is destroyed, but it's definitely going to be diminished considerably. Hollywood's going to be like, well, we don't want to work with Johnny Depp because, Me Too allegations. That's just kind of how it works, and that's how it's working now in anime with Vic Mignogna. So the thing is that, and we've said repeatedly on live streams, if somebody has some kind of very serious allegation and they come forward with that, I think all of the allegations warrant an investigation, but, the person's not actually guilty by law until it's gone to trial and they've been convicted. Harvey Weinstein, obviously guilty, went to trial, convicted, But this has not been the case with Johnny Depp or Vic Mignogna. There's just a lot of rumor. And in the case of Amber Heard, again, this could turn the Me Too movement sort of on its ear. If it turns out that she's actually the guilty party, that she's the one that's been abusive, that she has physically harmed him, that she has destroyed his character, and it turns out that it was all some kind of a ploy to advance her career, then, that's actually going to undermine legitimate grievances from women who have been actually abused, who have been actually harassed, actually raped, because of people faking it. I mean, a court of law will decide, obviously, whether Heard is guilty or not. But very interesting turn of events, because I think a couple of years ago, a lot of actors, either they would have just ignored it or they would have just kind of turned the other cheek and been done with it. But yeah, Depp knows his career has been damaged. Now, this is Amber Heard's attorney, Eric George. He tells a blast this frivolous action is just the latest of Johnny Depp's repeated efforts to silence Amber Heard. She will not be silenced. She will not be silenced. Mr. Depp's actions prove he is unable to accept the truth of his ongoing abusive behavior. His ongoing abusive behavior. But while he appears hell-bent on achieving self-destruction, we will prevail in defeating this groundless lawsuit and ending the continued vile harassment of my client by Mr. Depp and his legal team. So, Amber Heard's been quiet. She did say that she was fighting the good fight. I guess Blast.com had her give a very quick comment on the situation, and it gets ugly. I mean, there's a lot of information you can find out here. Again, how much of it's true, how much of it's gossip, don't know, but there's, Elon Musk is involved in this, allegedly now. It's crazy. It's a messy situation. But this does sort of set a precedent that, males who are accused of wrongdoing, by women, can sue, and it'll all come out hopefully in court, and if Johnny Depp is guilty, then Johnny Depp is guilty. But it looks like, to me, there's more evidence of her harassing and abusing him than the other way around. So again, what does this do to the credibility of women who come forward and say they've been abused? Anytime you have someone cry wolf, it's going to damage legitimate grievances. So some people are going to bat for Johnny Depp, including his friend Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper, who is in a band with Johnny Depp. New uncovered photo shows Johnny Depp with black eye as Alice Cooper defends the actor from abuse allegations made by Amber Heard. This is coming to you from Bounding in the Comics. I'll put a link in the description. Musician Alice Cooper defended his Hollywood Vampires bandmate Johnny Depp from allegations of abuse from his ex-wife and Aquaman star Amber Heard. As we previously reported, Depp is suing Heard for $50 million. Cooper, who was promoting the Hollywood Vampires upcoming tour, defended Depp in an interview with Billboard. Cooper notes that Depp had actually written a number of songs regarding the abuse charges from Heard that they will be playing on their upcoming tour. It's really interesting because it's not your normal hard rock, Cooper says about the music. He continues, it goes places I normally wouldn't go, and that's kind of what I like about it. He adds, I'm spewing his venom on this album, which is kind of good. Cooper then defends Depp, calling the allegations against him bull. All the stuff you heard last year about Johnny, 99% was bull. I've never seen him look better in my life. I've never seen him happier. I've never heard him play better. And the way the press would have it, he's on his way to total destruction and ready to die. Totally not true. Cooper's defense of Depp comes after new uncovered photos revealed Depp with a black eye following an encounter with Heard in 2016. The Blast uncovered the photo detailing all of this. It shows Depp's injuries. I will link to that. Now, it's interesting about the media too, because once it came out about Johnny Depp potentially abusing Amber Heard, the story, you look at a lot of the magazines, I think it was Rolling Stone, I'm trying to remember a story, they basically compared Johnny Depp 2018 to Marlon Brando when he was past his prime, and he was clearly on his way out, and they tried to paint Johnny Depp as like some sort of drug-addled, washed up Hollywood actor who was hell-bent on destroying himself and destroying everyone around him. And this might not actually be the case. It might actually be the other way around. Very interesting situation to watch. Again, depending on how this lawsuit goes, depending on how the legal action goes, it might set a precedent that you absolutely believe women, but you believe them enough to warrant an investigation. And if the investigation does not turn up sufficient evidence, then the man is not guilty. That's the way it kind of used to be. So I don't know. Very interesting situation. And I think as accusations continue to fly, especially on social media, you're going to see more and more pushback from people who are accused of wrongdoing, especially if they haven't actually done anything wrong. So we'll keep an eye on this. We'll keep an eye on the Vic Mignogna situation. We will let the courts decide if the parties are guilty or innocent, and try to separate the actual news from all the social media scuttlebutt. and we'll keep reporting on it as we hear it here at Clownfish TV. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, rants, gaming videos, art videos, and more. This has been Neon. I'll talk to you later. Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.